Welcome to Guys That Listen. I'm Peter, and today we got a special solo episode. I know it's a little different than what you guys are used to, but rent is expensive in California, and this is all we could afford for today. No, just kidding. I decided to do something different just because the usual in studio with the guest podcast is always fun, but sometimes you gotta step outside your comfort zone. And I've never done a solo episode, which is very different for me, and I feel very uncomfortable doing it, not gonna lie, but it's a work in progress, right? But today's episode, I want to talk about friendship. We're in the fall-winter season right now. Holidays are coming up. It's Thanksgiving and Christmas arriving soon. And I think during this time of year is when we see our friends and family the most. And the reason why I want to speak more about friends is because, growing up, I actually didn't celebrate the holidays too much. There was a lot of tension, violence, verbal abuse in my household growing up, and so much that even during the holidays, it just felt like you couldn't wait to get it over with. Opening presents wasn't even fun. Like, that's how crazy it was. And we, in my household, we just didn't really have an enjoyable upbringing when it came to the holidays. And it wasn't until me and my friends were able to drive, we decided to throw our own Christmas Eve dinner at like 17 years old. It was like 5 or 6 of us who had nothing to do. We grew up with, not really celebrating those holidays, right? It didn't really happen. So we decided, hey, why don't we do it on our own? And now it's been a tradition ongoing for 20 years with some of my best friends in the world and new friends that have come along and just loved ones, and it's been a blessing. And it's so important to me, and that friend group is important to me, that tradition is important to me, and what we've cultivated through the years is important to me. And the reason why I bring this up in the podcast is not just because it's the holidays, but I'm starting to notice more and more that it seems like people don't know how to be friends. And I'm not saying this for everyone. I know plenty of people who know be great friends, whether they're in my group or not. But, I'm starting to see it trickle down. I'm starting to see it through the people that I'm meeting, when I'm passing, or people that, I'm meeting through friends of friends who, it just seems a little bit lonelier now. And that's unfortunate, because I do truthfully believe that we need each other. We need good friends. We need true friends in our lives, Before there were therapists, there were friends and family, right? So one of the things I want to talk about nowadays is, the communication between friends. Like, I'm not the best communicator by any means. I'm working at this shit every day, right? It's awkward for me to even say what's up to one of my friends because we're so used to just dapping each other up and not even saying a single word, right? Like, maybe it's a guy thing, I don't know. But we've always had this mutual understanding. And I think even that is going away. People are slowly losing that mutual understanding. They're starting to gain mutual assumptions. Like, I assume this and you assume this. And it sucks, because it's almost like you cannot be on the same page as people anymore, because I don't know if it's social media, I don't know if it's dating apps, I don't know. It might be both. It might be both, to be honest. I think it's social media because, people are not socializing the way they did before. And I think it's dating apps because, and this is just something that I've noticed. I don't know if it's true, but if it is, then you could credit me for this. But I'm starting to notice that when it comes to dating, especially due to online dating, people are kind of like treated as disposable. It's so easy for someone to cut someone off, right? I think even the threshold for divorce probably is lower than it was before. I see people talk about like, oh, no one wants to fight for a relationship anymore. And I think that's true, unfortunately. And I also think that the effects of that, right? People becoming more disposable in these relationships due to these apps, due to social media, it's starting to bleed into like friendships. I'm starting to hear people like, oh yeah, we're no longer talking. We had a falling out. I'm like, damn, you guys are friends for like 20 years. What for? Oh, they cursed at me. I'm like, damn. I mean, I'm not saying that's right, but, is it worth your friendship? Yeah, maybe it is. I don't know. I personally, everyone lives their own lives. That's for you to decide, right? And I understand everyone is about, especially nowadays, protecting their peace. You know what I mean? Like, I like my peace sometimes too. And I'm a toxic ass person. But once in a while, yeah, peace is nice. But I don't think that if there's a little friction, that's worth losing a friend over. Again, this is just my opinion, right? You take it however you want to. I think that your life automatically comes with friction. You cannot choose to live a frictionless life, right? And peace is nice. Peace at times, especially in a day and age like this, is kind of a luxury, It's great that you can have it. It's for you. Those of you who have found peace, good for you. Slow clap. For everyone else who wants to preserve relationships that they care about, and even though that might come with some turmoil, like, it's got to be, the juice has got to be worth the squeeze, right? And I think we're at this day and age, we're starting to think like more negatively. Like, maybe it's not. Maybe it's not. Like, no one has faith in their friendships. It's like, oh, they'll never change, like these things. Like, no. To me, and this has come from me because I have a hard time giving up on friendships, right? So maybe I don't know what the hell I'm talking about because I'm terrible at letting people go. Even though I have let a couple of people go in my life, and I'm actually very happy about the people that I did let go. But I'm also very happy about the people that I did hold on to because they've grown into some of the best friendships that I could ever ask for. These people I'm the most vulnerable with. I tell them my struggles. They help me. They ask me how they can help me without me even asking them. They're my brothers and sisters in arms. Like, I know they got my back all day because they've done it. They've done it. They've proven to me they got my back. And I can never let people like that go. And it's either people are letting go weaker friendships or people are scared to build deeper friendships. And that's a shame because maybe they're scared of being hurt, but it's worth it. I'm telling you, the juice is worth the squeeze. Like, I've built a life where I surround myself with people that I love and care about deeply, and even though we roast each other, even though we talk shit sometimes, like, everything else is great, you know what I mean? And we know it's nothing but love. And the reason why I want to emphasize so much on that is I do see that happening where people are letting go of people too easily and people are almost afraid to speak their mind, whether it comes to like politics, whether it comes to like societal issues, whether it comes to, what they think about how restrooms should be handled or, or education or the cops. It's insane. It's like we can't even talk to each other, and if we disagree, it's like you're out, and how do you build a authentic friendship on the premise that you cannot offend the other person? Like, that's insane to me, and yeah, I do think like the idea of people being disposable is now trickling down into friendships, right? But I don't think that as human beings living a frictionless life is good for us. I don't think that we're supposed to stay in the comfort zone. Like true friends that love and care about you and that know you well enough will push you outside of your comfort zone, but into an area where you will grow. Right? My friends have pushed me so much. My emotional intelligence has grown tenfold thanks to them. And hopefully they've grown a little bit thanks to me too. I mean, they're still dumbasses, but I love those guys. But yeah, I just cannot imagine my life without them. And I want people to achieve that same level of friendship. And I think the only way to do that is maybe by laying some ground rules that, hey, first of all, I'm not here to offend you. If I am, I just want to have a conversation. And I want to be honest with what I'm saying. I think that's one of the biggest things to do. And, however that is for your friend group, right? Every friend group is a little different. And aside from that, I think being more vulnerable with each other. I think that's really important. We especially as guys, it's really hard for us to show affection to each other. You know what I mean? It's like, what's up, bro? You good? Yeah, I'm good. But now it's like, hey, I miss you, man. Like, hey, I love you, bro. And, that shit comes out way more during the holiday seasons, right? Like, man, these motherfuckers be getting sentimental. But why can't that be your year-round thing? You know what I mean? I think we're getting there. I think friendships are starting to open up more, especially, from the men's side. I'm not saying men to men only, but I'm saying like even men to their platonic female friends. We're starting to show appreciation and affection more so for each other. And I think that's more important now than ever because, damn, my life would be so sad if I did not have the people that I loved in my life. And, I honestly think we need each other more than ever. You know what I mean? Before there were therapists, there were friends and family. So to me, I'm gonna focus on these things. These things is what this support group and the people that I have around me, especially during the holiday seasons, like there's no worse time to be lonely than the holiday seasons. Is what keeps my mental health good. What's keeping me like in the right path, growing and developing and wanting to become a better person because, I think we hear this phrase a lot. And I think this phrase is something that I guess, depending on the circumstance, is useful. But they always say, you're the average of the 5 people that you hang around with. But that's crazy because if you're constantly always seeking to uplift yourself and going to the better, right? Because I don't think that's how life works. Then you'll always be at the bottom, usually, between the 5 people that you're wanting to build your average on. But in a good friend group, right? Everyone is going to try to be better. A rising tide lifts all boats. I think that's a line that I want to, or a phrase that I want to use when it comes to friend groups. Because if we're all trying to do better, if I'm doing better, my friends will do better, and then we'll all do better. Those things will average out into a better friend group. And I think, it sometimes requires these conversations. It requires us being vulnerable. It requires us having some kind of faith in our friends because sometimes people feel like it's hard to trust people. But I don't think good people are hard to come by. I think that bad people are just easy to come by. And if we just focus our energy on good people, if we attract that and the average of the group is good, and then that attracts other good people, I think we'll get there, as a society, as a friend group, as a human being. But yeah, sorry for yapping so much. This first solo episode, still feels weird because I'm pretty sure I look fucking crazy talking to myself in this park right here. But maybe it's different. I have wanted to get better at this and do something new for you guys, and hopefully you guys enjoy. Let me know what you guys think. It's not as long as the usual, but if it's good, if you guys like it, and maybe I can do a couple more. Well, until next time, live fast, eat ass. Peace, guys.